I'll never forget the way the candlelight danced across the dining table that night. The whole family was there, Mom at the head, my brother cracking jokes, and me, Emily Thompson, smiling like everything was finally okay. After Dad passed last year, the dinners had been tense, full of quiet arguments about the will and old grudges. But tonight felt different. I wore my favorite cream blouse, the one that made me feel put together, and I kept telling myself, we're healing, we're family. My sister Lisa sat right across from me. She was the golden child, always had been. Police captain, just 30, the one who protected everyone. Her uniform was crisp even on a Sunday, and her smile was sharp, like a knife hidden in silk. We used to be close, back when we were kids, sharing secrets under blankets. But after Dad's funeral, something in her eyes changed. She started looking at me like I was the enemy. I brushed it off as grief. I had no idea she'd already decided to destroy me. The conversation flowed at first. Mom passed the roast, my brother laughed about old family trips. Then Lisa raised her glass. To family loyalty, she said, her voice sweet, but her eyes locked on mine. A chill ran down my spine. I laughed it off, clinked my glass, but deep inside, my stomach twisted. What I didn't know in that moment was that the handcuffs were already waiting in the kitchen drawer, and Lisa had called her team before we even sat down. I was 32, running a quiet consulting firm on paper. No one knew the truth I carried like a hidden scar. Years in the shadows, serving my country in ways I could never speak about. I came home to heal, to be near Mom, to let the past stay buried. But betrayal doesn't care about your secrets. It waits at the dinner table wearing your sister's face. That night, as the plates were cleared, I still believed blood was thicker than anything. How wrong I was. My world was about to shatter into 1,000 pieces, and the person holding the hammer was the one I once called my best friend. Everything happened so fast it felt like a nightmare I couldn't wake from. One minute we were laughing about childhood memories. The next, the front door burst open and two officers stormed in. Lisa stood up slowly, her chair scraping like nails on a chalkboard. "Emily Thompson," she said, voice cold and official. "You're under arrest for embezzlement and forgery of Dad's estate documents." The room froze. Mom gasped. My brother dropped his fork. And me? I felt my heart crack right down the middle. Handcuffs clicked around my wrists behind my back while the whole family watched. I looked at Lisa, begging with my eyes. "Why? We're sisters. What did I ever do to you?" She wouldn't even meet my gaze, just recited my rights like I was a stranger. In the police car, the city lights blurred through my tears. I kept replaying every moment. How I had quietly paid for Dad's medical bills when no one else could. How I stepped back from the inheritance so Lisa could have the house she always wanted. I had sacrificed everything to keep peace. And this was her thank you? The betrayal burned deeper than any wound. My own sister, the one who used to braid my hair and promise we'd always have each other's backs, had chosen jealousy over blood. She believed the lies she told herself, that I was stealing what was hers, that I didn't deserve the love Dad gave me. Back at the station, they sat me in a cold interrogation room. Lisa stood on the other side of the glass, arms crossed, looking proud. "You always thought you were better," she said through the speaker. "Now everyone sees who you really are." My chest felt hollow. I cried silent tears, not for the handcuffs, but for the sister I had lost forever. The pain was so heavy I could barely breathe. I wondered if this was the end. My reputation ruined, my family turned against me, my quiet life destroyed in one dinner. But even in that darkness, something inside me shifted. A quiet strength I had buried for years began to stir. I remembered who I truly was beneath the consultant title, beneath the smiles. I wasn't just Emily, the sister. I was someone who had faced worse storms and come out standing. The tears stopped. My back straightened. I whispered to myself, this isn't over. Because what Lisa didn't know, what no one in that room knew, was that I still had allies. Powerful ones. And the truth was about to walk through that door wearing a captain's uniform of its own. The station door swung open with a force that made everyone turn. Heavy boots echoed down the hallway. Lisa straightened, expecting her backup. Instead, a tall military captain in dress greens marched in, followed by 4 uniformed officers. The room went silent. He stopped right in front of my chair, snapped to attention, and raised his hand in a perfect salute. "General Thompson, ma'am," he said, voice ringing clear. "We're here. The team is ready to assist." The words hit like thunder. Lisa's face drained of color. Her mouth opened, but nothing came out. The handcuffs were off me in seconds. My team surrounded me with quiet respect, while the station commander rushed over, suddenly nervous. Papers were signed, apologies spilled, and Lisa? She stood there, badge suddenly meaningless, watching her entire plan crumble. The truth poured out like light breaking through clouds. For years, I had served as a decorated general in military intelligence, undercover even from my own family to protect them from the dangers of my world. Dad knew. He kept my secret until his last breath. Lisa had forged documents trying to seize the estate, then used her police power to frame me so she could bury the truth. But my superiors had been watching. One anonymous tip from a concerned family friend, and the military stepped in. Lisa's captain, her own boss, looked at her with disappointment that cut deeper than any shout. "Captain Hayes, you're relieved of duty pending investigation." Her world shattered right there in front of everyone who once respected her. No dramatic yelling, no violence, just the quiet, crushing weight of consequences. She had tried to arrest a general. She had betrayed her own blood. And now the truth had saluted me instead. I walked out of that station with my head high, Mom's hand in mine. The night air felt cleaner. Later that evening, alone on my porch, I watched the stars and let the last tears fall. Not of pain, but of release. Family betrayal cuts the deepest because it comes from the people you would die for. But here's what I learned in the ashes of that dinner. Never let someone's jealousy dim the light you carry. The truth always finds its way home. And sometimes the ones who try to destroy you end up saluting the strength they could never break. I'm still Emily, still a sister, but I'm also General Thompson, and no one will ever handcuff my spirit again.